videos, and this is currently my Manchester United versus Cska Moscow preview at Old Trafford. It's tomorrow night, 7:45 kick-off, Manchester United versus Cska Moscow at home, our last group stage game before the current knockouts in February. Manchester United should do it now. We've basically played 5 so far. We've played 5 in the Champions League games, won 4, got 12 points, and lost 1. So this is a 6th game now in the group stage, our last game in the group stage. Well, Manchester United just need a point to assure top spot and to guarantee qualification for the knockouts in February as well. But Manchester United in the Champions League have been doing very, very well mostly, apart from the Basel defeat. We've scored 10 goals, 12 points, 4 wins out of 5, and hopefully we can get the result tomorrow night to guarantee us qualification for the knockouts in February. But we only need a point to seal this as well. But basically, Cska Moscow are sitting 3rd in the Champions League group stage. They have scored 7 goals in the Champions League. They're sitting 3rd at Cska Moscow. In their league, they are currently sitting 3rd as well, are Cska Moscow. So far in their league, not in the Champions League, in their league, they've played 19, won 10, drawn 5, and lost 4 so far. Cska Moscow, but Moscow have got quite a few problems because they have got quite a few injuries. They've got quite a few suspensions as well. Cska Moscow have got quite a few players out injured. I think one's late December, one's in January, set to return, and one's in February as well. And I think they've got about 2 or 3 players also suspended as well of Cska Moscow as well. But Manchester United in the reverse fixture, we did absolutely destroy Moscow at Moscow's ground. We did beat them by 4 goals to 1 very, very comfortably. But Manchester United, since the international break, have done really, really well. We've won 4 in the Premier League. We did have that defeat at Basel, but since the international break, won at Newcastle 4-1, beat Brighton 1-0. Beat Newcastle 4-1, beat Brighton 1-0, beat Watford comfortably 4-2, and won at the weekend against Arsenal by 3 goals to 1. So his last 2 games, we have bagged 7 goals, which is very, very good to see as well. But in the Arsenal game, it wasn't the best Manchester United performance by all means. I thought we was won absolutely ragged, right until the end, basically. I thought the first 10 minutes, Manchester United did dominate the game. We looked very, very good on the counter-attack. There was a lot of tempo to the game in the Arsenal-Manchester United game. It was the best game, I've seen this season. But in terms of possession, in terms of chances, Arsenal were a total dominated side. They'd strung 5-6 passes together. They had a lot more passes than us. Look at the statistics. I think in that game, Arsenal had about 33 attempts. I think they had about, 17, 18 on target. I can only recall Manchester United's shots were, without the goals, was Lingard, and that was in the second half. Lingard had been clear. Lingard had hit the ball, come off Petr Cech, and hit the post as well. But in the first half of that game, especially the first 10 minutes, we were in control of the game. In the first 10 minutes, Arsenal's passing was sloppy, the crossing was woeful, and you could say it was 2 defensive mistakes. The first one, from Klasnic, was it? Not Klasnic, Koscielny, sorry, should I say. We get the ball, lovely link up between Pogba and Valencia, and Valencia finishes it lovely, nutmegs the keeper, and that makes it 1-0. And then Manchester United is still in control then, after that. And then Mustafi makes another mistake for Arsenal. Lukaku receives the ball, feeds it into Martial. Lovely little flick from Martial, and a lovely finish from Jesse Lingard. And Lingard has scored 3 goals in his last 2 Premier League games now as Jesse Lingard. But he has looked very, very good when he's played. He's looked very, very good in that attacking third of the pitch. Lovely finish from Lingard. And then since then, Arsenal were on a front foot. They were creating chance after chance after chance. And I thought we were fortunate in some way. To be quite fair, I thought in that game we were quite fortunate to be quite fair against Arsenal. We were quite fortunate, with the defensive blocks, the ricochets, last-ditch tackles. We were fortunate, but David De Gea was just absolutely fantastic. The chances Arsenal had, there was one Lacazette. Lacazette must have had 2 or 3 opportunities. There was one where David De Gea had it onto the crossbar. I think Arsenal had hit the post as well. Xhaka then had a shot wide, what he should have basically scored. Ozil had a chance. Bellerin had a good chance. David De Gea produced a fantastic diving save. Klasnic had a chance as well for Arsenal. And Arsenal just had chance after chance after chance. There was one where Ashley Young cleared it off the line as well. To be fair, Ozil had a good game for Arsenal, to be quite fair. Sanchez didn't have the best of game, but Sanchez did have a fantastic chance in the second half for Arsenal after Lacazette had a shot saved. And then Sanchez going for the rebound. Sanchez hit it straight at David De Gea's feet, and David De Gea had saved it. So many chances in that game. There were talks that Arsenal should have had a penalty, through Danny Welbeck when he got fouled in the second half. And, I can't recall Manchester United have another chance apart from the 3 goals, should I say, not the 2, the 3 goals. And the Arsenal got a goal back, as we all know, through Lacazette. Wasn't going to miss that. And then, basically, Manchester United got the 3rd, basically wrapped the game up. It was Pogba, crossed it in, found Lukaku and Lingard and Matt, tap in, and that makes it 3-1. And fantastic. It was good to see Pogba getting 2 assists. He's been fantastic since he's come back from injury, but it's a shame that he's got a suspension because he got sent off as well. So he's due to miss the next 2 or 3 Premier League games, is it? Something like that. Pogba, it was a shame, he didn't need to really do that. It was something to do with a collision, I think he collided something with Hector Bellerin. Didn't really see the full thing, but I knew Pogba had been shown red. But you could tell the difference without Pogba in that midfield and without Pogba not in that midfield. But as I'm saying, good. Pogba got 2 assists, Lingard got 2 goals, Valencia got a goal, 2nd this season, and Martial got an assist as well for Valencia's goal. But all that matters is Manchester United got the points. Was nowhere near the best performance. The scoreline doesn't tell the full story, but Manchester United go out there with 3 points. Very, very good, and that'll boost a lot of confidence now, and build a lot of momentum into the Manchester United team going into this Moscow game Tuesday. Going into the City game on Sunday, it'll boost a lot of confidence. But I still think the performances need to step up. But at least Jose Mourinho went out there, guns blazing, attacked. We didn't play defensively, as we have been doing, as we did it against Liverpool at Anfield this season. Was poor at Chelsea. Last season we lost to a lot of the big teams. There was games we should have won last season as well. But all that matters is Man United got the points in the bag as well, and that is all what matters. So we're going into the CSK Moscow game now with 4 wins in the Champions League out of 5 under his belt. So basically, but let's be fair, the Russian clubs such as Moscow do not have a good record against the English clubs, because you've got here Russian clubs have lost 8 of their 12 away games in the Champions League against English opposition. So their record against the English clubs isn't very, very good. And also to tell you that our record at home has been fantastic, Manchester United, because we've only lost 2 of our last 48 Champions League group stage games at home. So we've only lost 2 out of 48 as well. And CSK Moscow have our winless in their 5 previous games against us in the Champions League group stage. They have also failed to keep a clean sheet in their 5 games against us. Manchester United have lost only 2 of their last 48 Champions League group games at Old Trafford against Besiktas in November 2009 and Cluj in December 2012. Russian clubs have lost 8 of their 12 away games in the Champions League against English opposition. As I said, CSK Moscow have won their 2 away games in the competition this season, both by 2-1 scoreline, already the most they have achieved in the Champions League campaign. As I said, a point against CSK Moscow will guarantee top spot for us in Group A. They haven't reached knockout stages of the competition since 2013-2014 as well. CSK Moscow will definitely qualify for knockout stage of Champions League if they're better Basel's results. Failing that, they have already assured of a 3rd place and a Europa League spot. If Basel and CSK both win, the top 2 will be sided in a 3-way head-to-head with Manchester United. CSK Moscow have failed to reach knockout stage in their previous 4 Champions League appearances. The last time they made the round of 16 was in 2012 when Real Madrid eventually knocked them out. CSK's last game against Benfica saw them kept a clean sheet for the first time in the Champions League since November 2011, putting an end to a run of 32 games they had conceded at least 1 goal. In the last round of matches, Latif Ibrahimovic became the first player to feature for 7 different teams in the Champions League: Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barca, Milan, PSG, Man United. As manager, Jose Mourinho has faced Moscow 7 times in the Champions League, winning 6 and drawing 1. He has won of 5 managers to have won the European Cup and Champions League with 2 different clubs alongside Enes Happel, Otmar Hitzfeld, Jupp Heynckes and Carlo Ancelotti. So there's a statistic, going into the game. But also just to basically tell you guys that going into this game, a bit of team news for Manchester United as well. To be quite fair, this is still essential, that we do gain qualification for the knockout stages, but I think, Jose Mourinho is going to rotate the squad a little bit in the Cska Moscow game because obviously I think he's going to rest some players, for the big game on a Sunday against Manchester City. I think he could drop Nemanja Matic, to be quite fair. No, actually, sorry, he could drop. Yes, he could actually. He could drop Nemanja Matic. He could put Fellaini in there instead. He could drop Nemanja Matic and put Herrera in there. He could drop quite a few. He could drop quite a few couple of players. Could Jose Mourinho, believe it or not? We could even see Scott McTominay getting in the starting 11 on Tuesday. Maybe even Zlatan Ibrahimovic could even make his first start. Since recovering from long-term injury, he has been making substitute appearances. But even may rest Lukaku, Jose Mourinho. May rest quite a few key players, for that game on a Sunday because he wants to make sure they're fully fit and prepared, for the Manchester derby on Sunday. I haven't heard much about Bailey and Jones. I know it says, what I've been reading, that Bailey's still injured. Jones is still injured. Carrick's been suffering heart problems, as we all know. But yeah, more things will update tomorrow in the press about more of the team news. But that's what I know at the moment, that Fellaini could make it in the starting 11. Maybe Scott McTominay could make it in the starting 11. Maybe even Herrera could, and he could actually drop Matic. He could rest quite a few key players, to be quite honest. He could Mourinho, obviously for the game on Sunday as well. But as I'm saying about the Russian clubs have not got a good record against English opposition. They've lost 8 of their last 12 away games against English opposition. They've lost 8 of their last. They've lost 8 of their last 12 away against Champions League against English opposition, and their Moscow are winless in 5 games against us in all. And the winless in the last. Says here the winless in the last 5 previous games against us, and have also failed to keep a clean sheet against us in the last 5 games as well of Cska Moscow. But we don't forget we've only lost 2 of our last 48 games in the group stages at home. So that is a record, and we're unbeaten in the Premier League, at home since the Manchester derby when we lost 2-1. So we've gone. I think we've done over a 40-match unbeaten run now at home in the Premier League as well. So yeah, so that is my preview. We'll do if I do get time, I will update you with more team news if more things updates tomorrow. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, as always, take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye. But just to say as well, in the last 6 games, before I go, in the last 6 games, Man United in our last 6 games, we've won 4, lost 2. It's fair to Moscow, they've been picking up form recently, to be quite fair to them, in the last 5 games, they've won 5 and drawn 1, so in their recent form hasn't been too bad as Cska Moscow, to be quite honest with you. But I did say they've got quite a few injuries and a few suspensions, so I think we should be okay anyway. We only need a point to qualify. So now I'm going to go, guys. That's everything to do today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, as always, drop a like and take it easy, guys. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye.